49, and because it's a revolving fund, as we move on, it will go up. But we will plead with government as it is, just as the new government has come. The new minister is looking into it. If we have to go to the finance ministry to put in more money so that we can expand to the 16 regions. But it's a viable venture. If we don't do due diligence, the monies will go into people's pocket. And then we'll come crying that government should reinvest a lot of money. So it's a check that if you don't have a variable income, that monthly will be deducting the money, then you don't qualify. And will not look into somebody's side. There's no political colors on this. We want to make sure that the money that has been invested, we make sure we revolve it so that government will get money whilst we solve people's problems. So I'll end there. If we get the opportunity, we'll go into it deeply.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, time will not permit us to continue. Otherwise, I would have been very much interested in the National Rental Assistance, which would serve as a booster, you know, I mean, would come in handy to support vulnerable persons who are struggling to find accommodation, you know, because the life of man basically is about food, clothing, and shelter. And shelter is very paramount because of the vagaries of the weather we are confronted with. And so it's a scheme that I think we need to find time to dive deeper into. But before we call it a day, Mr. Opoku, what critical reforms would you propose, either to the National Rental Assistance Scheme or for the revamping and repositioning of the rent control department to make it more functional and more efficient?
Yes, first of all, let me say rent control, you know, because they are the implementing agency. So I always want to, you know, either to talk in their favor or to criticize them. Yes. But the truth is that in the law, I'm hoping, which I know the new law is talking about appointment of rent commissioner. And if there is a commissioner who is the head, more or less the political head, working with the chief rent officer and the team, then it will be more, the government will now know that there's a conduit between the rent control and their challenges can be felt. So I'm hoping that since this law came into being, we've never seen any rent commissioner. And that I'm hoping that when it happens, that is reformed, immediately, the President of the Republic, by his powers, to immediately get the rent commissioner to be there. And if rent commissioner is there, and maybe a board, there must be a separate board that will work at rent control and report to the minister. Than the same ministry doing all the things and rent control become like a rubber stamp or whatever for them. It must be independent. I'm hoping and praying that any law reforms should empower and to embolden rent control to bite. And if they can bite, they can do and walk their talk. We can achieve a lot. Rent commissioner, I beg, and I'm using this platform to appeal to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, that you promised the tenants of this country before you came into office, and we believe in his policy that His Excellency will do the needful. We are not all that gone into the time, but I'm hoping that as different energies will be kicked into the house and that we can see new reforms, new legislations, and that the guy will also push the parliament, the majority, to get the thing done with that, because this is the third time the law comes, it comes back, it's not passed. So I'm hoping that the rent commissioner should be appointed.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Mr. Posu, what are your concluding statements?
Okay. So just as my brother said, all of us are crying for a new bill. Sometimes we as rent control get tired of working with this archaic law. But there are new challenges that we need to get a new law to make sure the citizens get a better reading. So just as I mentioned, there's a lot of clauses we've invested or we've put into the bill. We've started meeting stakeholders. We recently met with the Ghana Tourism Ministry, where we realized that they are mandated to register and license hostel managers. Yeah. But when it comes to how much they charge, nobody is regulating. So we are meeting stakeholders. We will come to the Ghana Tenants Union as well, and then Landlords Association. So we are praying that when all these are done and we lay it before Parliament, they will fast track it and be passed and assented to, so that we will start working with the new law.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All too soon we have to draw the curtains down, but it's obvious that the frustrations voiced by tenants regarding long-term advance payments, frequent rent increases, and the tenure of insecurity highlighting pressing national concern cannot be ignored. As we've explored today, the gap between law and practice is significant. And the effectiveness of our rent regulation institution is seriously under scrutiny. The pending rent bill and the need for stricter enforcement and innovative housing solutions could be pivotal in addressing these challenges. Moving forward, it is essential that we continue to advocate for reforms that prioritize fairness and accessibility in Ghana's rental market. We encourage our viewers to stay informed and engaged, as collective action and dialogue are crucial in driving the changes we seek. Thank you for joining us as we look forward to continuing this important conversation in future episodes. To my head of public relations from the Rent Control Department, Mr. Posu, thank you very much for the insightful education you've given us this morning. And we're hoping to have you here again to maybe, expatiate further on the National Rental Scheme. And by strong advocates for National Tenants Association of Ghana, Mr. Opoku, thank you very much for spending time to pass through. To our viewers, our cherished viewers, without you, who would we be? We are here because of you. And we thank you for staying tuned and joining us. And it's your concerns that have made us brought you this sensitive topic discussions. We hope that you stay tuned and always be with us. And thank you for accepting us in your homes. To my crew members, I say thank you very much for the wonderful work production that you continue to do. Until we meet again, this is your regular host, Cephas Na Dosu, and this program is proudly sponsored by Hedge Pension Trust. Stay tuned and be blessed.